I've seen a lot of doubting leaders doing, which is taking on 2 or 3 more projects that you could possibly get done in the time that you have. So stick with me. We'll keep it short today. But if you are a woman and you're in a senior leadership position, then if you have had a overflowing calendar, you are avoiding taking lunch breaks because you need to catch up, or you have got a to-do list that is an endless list that you end up taking things from one day and moving them on to the next day, then this is a conversation that you want to join in on and listen. So love to hear where you are watching this. Even if it's on the replay, just hit the hashtag replay in the comments and tell me any questions you've got as you come up. And if this makes sense and this resonates for you, then make sure you hit that heart button as well. All right. So let's talk about the number one problem that most doubting leaders are dealing with. This is really about taking on 2 or 3 more projects than that you can actually get done within the timelines that you have set. Okay, so even with the deadlines, you're always missing it out, or you're kind of really rushing and ending up working more and more. So the reason that you find yourself with more projects than that you can actually get done is because you might be finding yourself really saying yes to requests because you feel like you need to get that done, right? I think that's pretty recognizable. We've all had that experience. Or because you want to prove that you can do it and that you also want to prove that you can do it all. And this is a topic that with many of my clients and also different leaders that I've spoken to over the last couple of years that keeps coming up over and over again. This sense of, I need to prove that I'm good enough, so I'm going to take on more projects, extra projects, because in that taking on extra projects and probably in my hard work will speak for itself. Now, could be a topic for another time. However, in the very short run, if you're not promoting yourself, your hard work definitely does not just speak for itself. And taking on 2 to 3 more projects can actually be doing more damage than any good to your career as well as your leadership potential. And another mistake that is happening while you're doing all this is that you're likely avoiding delegating to your team, because you might be thinking, well, I've taken all these projects. I said I could do it. So I don't want to appear weak by asking for help or delegating to someone else. And in that delegation, you may also find yourself saying, well, I don't want to delegate it because I'm the only one who knows to do this properly. And I'm the only one who can get this done. Now, if any of that sounds familiar, you may be in what I would call the doubting leader. So when you're experiencing all this, so starting back from the beginning, right? You're taking on 2 to 3 more projects. So these the doubting leaders that I've worked with in the past, and those women that I've spoken to, are finding themselves taking on 2 to 3 more projects at work than they can reasonably get done within the deadlines. What they're doing that causes this is they're saying yes to a lot of different projects because they either feel they need to in order to justify their position. They might be taking on all these projects because they want to prove that they're good enough, that they belong in the position that they have, and that they're ready for a next promotion. They want to show that they're a team member is another reason that could be there. And they also avoid delegating to their teams. Now, in order to fix this, what I found is that most doubting leaders are actually ending up working 5+ hours more a week, and oftentimes much, much more than 5 hours extra above and beyond, your 40+ hour work week already, because you're trying to get this all done. You gave a commitment, you want to stay in integrity, you want to be a person that's known for keeping their word. So in order to fulfill on all those extra projects that you've taken on, what you've decided to do is go and work more. You're going to work harder, you're going to work longer. And what really happens that moment in time is, rather than being a valuable leader, you're essentially becoming a workhorse that can be replaced by anyone else who could work just as much as you are or could work longer than you do, which isn't really where we want to go either. Another mistake that happens when you're trying to fix this is you're likely trying to manage your time. So consider things like time blocking. I'm not against time blocking. However, just to simply fix the problem of taking on all those projects, time blocking isn't going to fix it. All you're doing is you're still extending all that time. You're still trying to fit everything into the same 24 hours and figuring, well, you know what? I've got 35 hours worth of work. Guess what? I could figure out how to push this into 18 hours or 10 hours simply by time blocking and prioritization, which is that other one. As well as you might end up still putting everything on a to-do list because you think, as long as it's on the to-do list, I will get it done. And then still find yourself constantly moving things from one day to the next day when it comes to managing your projects. All right, so what is at the core of this? So one of the things that I found between all of those mistakes and causes, the things that are causing even more mistake or more the problem, I should say, is that it has a lot to do with the image that we hold of ourselves, as well as considering what you think of yourself and whether or not you're doubting yourself. So for example, if you're constantly trying to prove that you deserve to be where you are by doing more work, doing it more often, and essentially showing that you can have the productivity of a robot, then where is the value of you as a leader? And the reason I ask that question is because at the core, there is some doubts, there is some insecurities, there may be even some self-blame. It's like, you know what? I I should have been doing this better. All of that is wrapped in the heart of the issue, which is causing you to keep saying yes to all those extra projects because you're trying to fix a issue about your own doubts, an insecurity about yourself by proving that you can take on more and more work. And all you're actually doing is you're running the risk of burning yourself out. You're getting overwhelmed and overworked and really frazzled and frustrated because this position that you've so long aspired to and worked your whole career toward isn't really as exciting or as satisfying or fulfilling as you thought it would be. And you're finding yourself struggling both in the professional as well as personally because managing it, balancing it across your professional and your personal life is just really not happening since your focus is on let's try to get everything done so I can prove I'm still good enough. So here's the invitation that I want to share with you today. Like I said, I'm going to keep it short today. Is I want you to register for Thursday's masterclass. So on Thursday, I'm going to go deep into how to calm your self-doubt. So if you are a woman in a senior leadership position and you're finding yourself taking on 2 or 3 more projects at work, then this is a really good masterclass for you because we're going to dive deep into how to actually change this. And I'm going to give you my 5-step process to rewire those doubts so that when you go and you get asked, hey, do you want to take on an extra project? Because we need an extra project manager here. Or guess what? I need someone to lead this project and you're the best one for the job. You can confidently say either no or you can confidently choose what you are going to do. So you could choose to do that project that you've been asked to, but on the other side of that, you're also confidently choosing what you're not going to do in order to make that project fit. So I want you to register for the masterclass. If you're on Instagram, the link is in the bio. If you're on LinkedIn, then you will find the link in the comments or in the description. So register for that. It's a live masterclass. I will answer also all of your questions along the way. So bring your questions, bring your concerns. And if you think this is not going to work for me, I want to challenge you to show up live on Thursday and get the questions you wanted and get live coaching from me right then and there on all of these things that are holding you back. So if you are finding yourself frustrated because no matter how much knowledge you've created, how much work you're doing, you're still not getting that sense of that you are a true leader and you deserve to be in the position that you're at, this is the masterclass that you need to attend. All right. Any questions? Drop them in the chat. I'd love to hear what you thought of today's live, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.